Hi everyone, this is Denise Levy and I'm an artist and designer. Today I'm going to show you how to put together this really cute haunted house easel card. Um, Perfect to send during this Halloween season. So I've got all my pieces cut and I'm just kind of getting myself organized. I'm going to start with the haunted house. I cut this back solid layer out of a bright yellow. If you wanted it to be a little spookier looking, you could do more of like a lime green or light green, but I kind of wanted this bright, so I did the yellow. So I'm just going to glue these two layers together and try to get it lined up here. And for some reason I struggle with this a little bit today and end up pulling it off and then getting more glue. Sometimes that's just, how it goes putting these cards together. I'm sure you can relate. So I'm going to try to now just get this bottom part lined up and then shimmy that top part around a little bit. And once I'm happy with that, I will move on. I'm still kind of fiddling with that, and I'm going to get glue on all these other areas of the haunted house. So those are all nice and adhered together. Now I'm going to dry fit the roof and the door, just so I make sure that I've got those in the right position. Oh, I guess I'm just doing the roof here, and I'm going to get some glue down on the roof, and then I will get that glued, make sure that I have that lined up well, and just kind of pick that up so I can really see it. And once I'm happy with that, I will move on to other details of the haunted house. Now I'm going to do the door. So you've got this little black door, getting a little bit of glue that just goes centered and on the bottom of the haunted house. Then you have these two window trim pieces, and I look and I'm like, oh my gosh, how did I lose the other? And maybe you can see it, the other piece. I'm like, oh, I don't want to have to cut this out again. So I just keep going. I get this one glued down in place, and then I still am looking for that piece, and then I see it there to my left. Maybe you spotted it. Oh, there it is. Yeah, some days are just like this. So that one fits perfectly in this circular window, and we will get that little window trim piece in place. And now I'm going to put together the little jack-o'-lantern. So this has 3 layers. You're going to take the orange layer that on the black little oval of the same size, and that creates his scary little face. And then you have the brown layer, which creates his stem. So I'm getting some glue on that. I will layer that and get those adhered together. And I'm not going to glue that down yet until I have this on the blue background. So now I'm going to move on to the little ghost. And the ghost has a black background shape, so I'm going to get glue on it and then glue the gray on top there. And I almost confused myself there with those layers. And then that creates the ghost little face. And then the ghost is just going to glue onto the roof. You can kind of position this however you want, or you can do it exactly like I am doing it. So I think that's a really cute touch to this card. And now the haunted house is done. I'm going to put it on the blue background, and then I'm going to get my clouds and the little jack-o'-lantern positioned. So the clouds, normally with clouds, I like to cut them out of the card stock. And so then the background of the card just shows through, creating the clouds. I didn't want to do that this time because I was using the craft cardstock base, and I didn't want brown clouds, and I didn't want yet another layer of cardstock. So you just position the clouds and the little moon like I'm doing, and the clouds are kind of all layered behind the house. And remember, like I always say, this is crafting. It's supposed to be fun. It's not that serious. So if you don't get them exactly in the same position that I have them in, it'll be just fine. In fact, it'll be better than fine. It'll be wonderful. So I'm going to get this first big cloud down first, and it just goes behind just that top part of the haunted house. And then you have each of the other clouds line up against the side of the card. And that's going to tuck just right there behind the right side of the house, and then the other one on the left, and it's just going to go down just a little bit lower than that one, the one on the right. And just trying to make sure I've got that lined up on the edge, and I do. And now I'm going to get glue on the haunted house and get that down, just get it centered on this blue background and lined up at the very bottom of this piece of blue cardstock. And now I'm going to glue down the jack-o'-lantern just to the left of the house and kind of overlapping there. All right, perfect. And then we will move on to the moon and to the bats. Now the bats, as you can see, I cut out of both cardstock and vinyl. I wanted to see how they would cut out of vinyl. The smaller bats are quite tiny, but they did cut out. So if you prefer to use cardstock on those, you certainly can, and they cut beautifully out of the vinyl as well. So I'm just getting that little moon in the left hand corner there. And then I'm just positioning the bats out of cardstock, and I'm just showing you there how they cut out and how small they are. I did decide to use the ones out of vinyl. You get them perfectly positioned, so you don't have to fiddle with that, but either way will be great. And since these are so small, I just use my fingernail to burnish those on to the transfer tape. Just easy peasy there. And then I'm just going to get them layered. The big one kind of layers over that moon, and then the other two, are in position there once you get that lined up. And just real simple. And I'm going to use my little burnisher just to get those down on to the cardstock, and then I will carefully release that, pull off that transfer tape. And now the front of this card is complete. So this is an easel card, and this Happy Halloween sentiment is going to make the stopper for the easel card when it is in upright position. I don't know how to say that, but anyway, I'm going to line these two up, and that black layer behind the orange, which creates the sentiment. So I'm going to fold just on the fold lines, and I'm going to fold the tab up. So you see that you have it folded, in half, and then that little, well, it's not in half, but you fold it, and then the little tab comes up, and then the card front is going to be glued to the little tab only. Okay, so I'm going to get glue just down on this tab, and you see how the tab is folded up and back. And then I'm going to get my card front lined up as best as I can, and I just kind of tap that a couple times, make sure that it's lined up, and I'm going to press down on the center where the glue is on that tab, and then I'm going to just push that up and back, and then I'll put my stopper, I will glue my stopper, and then when the card is expanded, then that's how it will look. And then if you want to lay it back flat, you can do that as well, so you can easily mail this card. So the little stopper part is exactly a 1/2 inch in, but you can see how the card is standing up on its own. So I kind of just, kind of let that as my guide, but it is a 1/2 inch. So you see the little cardstock area below the sentiment, that measurement there is a 1/2 inch. Now it doesn't have to be in exactly that, but just in case you're wanting to know how far back to put that. And then you'll see me easily collapse the card, and you can mail it. And then when you want to expand it, then just voila, it expands. And this is so much fun to display. And this card is done. Thank you so much for watching and for supporting my art. All links to purchase are in my profile. Have a spooky day.